2, 1, go.
Good evening.
Hello.
Uh,
Right, sorry, I'm just I'm jumping between sorting out what's on where.
yes, this week I think I've got you this week on the lyrics. So
Yes,
rolling
you did.
across the page, even got Dave, which is Ian's winning at the moment. So I'm sure there'll be some clever Dicky in the gallery that'll know it.
Yes. Somebody's going to make a comment about your subtitle. I've just seen it. Oh dear.
Well, if people are giving me some hard time elsewhere, I'll just join in and anyway. Nice to see you all again coming in. 12 straight in. Thank you very much for coming in. Busy old week and an interesting week as well. Nearly at 4,000.
Do you know what's missing?
What?
The poll.
Because it doesn't need one, do we?
I know. What's happening? There's no poll. Panic.
Poll tonight. Yes, Chief Ranker. Yes.
Evening poll. Sorry, evening Nick.
We're not far off 4,000. We've got 3,911 views this week, so we need 4,000 views a week. That's pretty good.
That is
It's 18 new subscribers as well, and it's amazing. After this week, after yesterday, and some other place giving me some stick, I picked up 5 subscribers.
Notoriety.
Yes. Anyway, what you've been watching? Well, the number 3 bad Genesis songs, and I haven't had no flack yet, so that's something.
No, because I decided no, I'm not going to comment.
No. 83. Number 2, top 10 artists, worst albums, which I did with Richard on last Saturday. 373. That is huge.
It is.
But number 1, and rightly so. Good evening, Simon. And rightly so at the top of the tree this week. It's the album review of Here Comes the Rain by Magnum and the Tony Clarkin tribute. Yes. 392. It's fitting that Tony is at the top. So there you go, Tony. We all support you down here on the channel.
Evening, Simon.
28 days, 13,257 views, 71 subscribers. We're picking up loads at the moment. The top 3, still coming in at number 3, is the trip down memory lane just before New Year's Day, 1970, 336. Number 2, it's the same as number 2 in the weekly figures.
Yes, and I think number 1 is going to be the same.
Yes, and I've not said the short for the week. It's the same short for the month, and it's the 7-star Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi, because it was the album Tony wanted to go out as a solo, but the record company insisted it went out as a Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Which is really good. It's got Glenn Hughes on it, so it's a really good album. I like it. I know there's people out there that don't like it, but I love it. So what are the figures for the whole caboodle? They're standing at 277,952. And we're now up to 1,443 subs. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your support. It is really appreciated.
Yep.
Good evening. No change really in the top three, but the numbers have gone up. Derek Riggs is now at 4,018. Slade is at nearly 4,000. Is at 4,467. Status quo 8,103. It won't be long before that's got 10,000 views on its own.
When did they go through the 8,000 mark?
Quo, couple of weeks.
Oh, it'll have been whenever you weren't too well.
Yes. Top ranked short still Oxygen, Jean-Michel Jarre. No, that stands still now at 2,737. Well, what I've been listening to from the work in progress, a lot of it is sort of things that you won't know about until they happen.
What?
Well, there is one because it's coming on what's on next week. I've been listening to a lot of some more David Bowie, but that's you'll find out in a minute. Teenage Fan Club, I've listened to 5 of the 11. I was going to say Tony Martin there. John Martin, 6 of 23. The Weather Report, 5 of the 14. I'm enjoying them. And Texas, 5 of 10. The Partridge Family, 5 of the 9. John Entwistle, 2. And I finished Dave Edmonds. So there.
Yeah.
That's
and the only other one we're waiting for is This Winter Machine.
Yes. Do you want to give I know we did it in the video, but for those of you who haven't watched it, and I'm sure there's people that would like to know the result of the final.
Yeah. I was just thinking we should actually do that. Okay. The live poll, it was 16 votes to 7, and the community vote was 27 to 13, both in favour of Talk, an overall score of 43 to 20. So unfortunately, Mike got knocked out.
Poor old Mike. Yes, maybe Nick, we might do the Brady brunch as well. Why not?
I do believe they're on the list.
I think they are. Yes, they are on the list. So Rocky's got his big bonus bit thing, and he's really tucking into that. That'll keep him quiet for at least 10 minutes. 5 minutes. No, that one he may struggle with.
Have you actually found something that's going to keep him quiet for right? You know what to get for silence, don't you?
Yeah, it was quite funny when we was recording earlier. He was dead quiet.
Yeah, once the recording stopped, he wouldn't shut up.
No, because I mentioned the word tea, and his ear just went, "Oh, food."
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I think it may be time for some hatches and matches and dispatches.
Okie dokie. So, dispatches. There was one death that occurred before the stream last week, but it wasn't announced until after the stream. So, Laurie Johnson, MBE, English composer and band leader, passed away on the 16th. He wrote scores for dozens of film and TV series. Most notably, he wrote the scores for Dr. Strangelove in film world. In TV, he wrote the music for Animal Magic, The Avengers, This Is Your Life, Jason King, The New Avengers, and The Professionals. The man had a catalogue. Unbelievable. I didn't realise how many shows he had done.
I think when I did the British TV Cops, I think 3 of his themes were in my top 10.
Yeah. You had The Avengers and The Professionals.
And I think Jason King got an honourable mention.
Yes. The 18th, we lost Ivan Moody, a British composer and musicologist. He studied under John Tavener. That's a name for classical listeners. We also lost Slim Tezin, a French guitarist, arranger, and conductor. He worked with Johnny Hallyday and Charles Aznavour. The 19th, we lost 6 people on the 19th, an unpopular day. We lost Iwa Podleś, a Polish coloratura contralto singer. We also lost Pluto Shervington. I think that's a brilliant name, Pluto Shervington. He was a Jamaican reggae musician. We also lost an American techno DJ and producer by the name of Silent Servant. Marlena Shaw also passed. She was an American jazz, blues, and soul singer. We also lost The Soft Moon, an American musician. And unfortunately, the lovely voice of Mary Weiss, the lead singer of the Shangri-Las, has left us. The 22nd, we lost a Russian singer, guitarist, and lyricist, Sergei Yefremenko. He played with the group Markscheider Kunst. And the 23rd, the death was announced of Frank Farian, a German singer and songwriter. Now, he wrote the song Rasputin, which was performed by a band he formed called Boney M. He also formed Milli Vanilli, or he was responsible for their being put into the pop world. And unfortunately, Milli Vanilli were the ones who got caught whenever he admitted that they were lip syncing. We also lost Anders Sandberg, a Swedish singer with the band Rednecks, and it popped up tonight, just before we came on air, that on the 23rd, Melanie Ann Safka Shirkerik, professionally known as Melanie or Melanie Safka, passed away on the 23rd at the age of 76. So those are our dispatches. Now, hatches, birthdays. We've got a couple of extras. Firstly, today, 150 years ago, the author Somerset Maugham was born. We thought, hey, he's worthy of a mention. And yesterday, Neil Diamond turned 83. Yes, Leon. Well done. So, in modern day birthdays, as usual, youngest to oldest. Age 22 today is Lathan Moses Stanley Eccles. He's known professionally as Lil Mosey. He's an American rapper, singer, and songwriter. And he released his first single on SoundCloud at the age of 14. 35 today is Sharifa Luna, a French R&B singer. 39 today is Tina Carroll, a Ukrainian pop singer, and I'm not going to try and give her real name. I know the first name is Tetiana, the last name is Lieberman, but the name in the middle, I'm not even going to attempt it. 41 today is Andre Waters, a Canadian pop country rock singer. 42 today is Sho Sakurai, a Japanese J-pop and hip-hop singer, songwriter, and actor. 43 today is Alicia Keys, American pop and R&B singer, songwriter, and pianist.
She's very good.
Yeah, she is. 50 today is a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Bryan Colling. He's an American pop singer with the group 4 Fun, and that's the number 4-FUN. I went and I looked it up, and there's about 5 different bands, all with the name of 4 Fun. Depends on how you spell it. Anyway, 55 today is Jesse Hart, an American heavy metal vocalist with the group South Gang, and Keena Cosper, an American rock and R&B singer with the group Brownstown. 56 today is Heinrich, known as Heine, Wolfgram. He's a Polynesian-American actor and musician with the group The Jets, who are made up of the Wolfgram family members.
Can I just point out they are nothing to do with Northampton's very own Jets?
No. Once again, go and look at Jets or The Jets, and you'll find 3 or 4 different bands. 61 today is Carl Fish. He's a British pop rocker with group Brother Beyond. 66 today is Sarah Mandiano. She was born Françoise Castellani. She's a French singer-songwriter, so bon anniversaire to her. Also 66 today is Gary Brian Dibbs, British rock bassist with Adam and the Ants and Roxy Music. And another British guitarist is 68 today, and that's Andy Cox, who played with Fine Young Cannibals.
And the beat, don't forget.
Oh, yes, thank you. 70 today is Jan Sandstrom. He's a Swedish classical music composer, and I included him because I like the fact that he wrote a motorbike concerto. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
that was the way my mind went whenever I saw it. 71 today is an English-born drummer. So that should give you a clue. English-born drummer who played with a band from 1976 to 1981, and that band was Split Enz, and that drummer was Malcolm Green. 72 today is Peter Garland, an American composer and musicologist. 74 today is Michael Cotton, and that's Cotton with an E. He's an American rock synthesizer, and he plays with The Tubes, who Iain has heard. 78 today is Ronnie Brandon, an American rocker with McCoys. And granddaddy today is Benny Golson, an American jazz tenor saxophonist, arranger, and composer. So there's your hatches, your dispatches. And we've got 2 matches. We decided to leave, we had 3, we decided to leave 1 out for various reasons. Notable marriages today. In 1533, Henry VIII married Anne Boleyn, his second wife. And in 1981, Bill Murray married Margaret Kelly on Super Bowl Sunday in Las Vegas. Not exactly the best day to get married, everybody, or is it? Because everybody's watching the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they got divorced in 1994. So there's your hatches, matches, and dispatches. Talking point is 1976, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I was 10 that year.
Yeah. But while you were 9, Ringo Starr released a single, Oh My My, on January the 9th. January the 21st, 3 days ago, as it were. No, sorry, 4 days ago, Concorde had its first commercial flight. I just think about that. Work it out. That's 48 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, February the 4th, the 12th Winter Olympic Games, I should say, opened in Innsbruck in Austria. And John Curry won Britain's first Olympic gold medal in figure skating.
Yeah, we watched that at school. They let us watch that at school.
I remember watching it we had come back from Cyprus, and whenever we had travelled back, we left Cyprus in 72, and we took a ferry around the Med, landing in Venice, and then the car was unloaded, and we drove from Venice all the way across Europe to the Hook of Holland in September 1972. And we tried to stop off at Munich, not realizing that the Olympic Games were on and all the hotels were full. There was 1 hotel room available in Munich that would sleep a family of 5. And they wanted £2,500 for 1 night, just for the room. So we said, sorry, thank you, but no thank you. Got back in the car and drove on to the German-Dutch border and stayed at a motel for a fraction of the price. Anyway, so March, not being content with having won a gold medal at the Olympics, John Curry then went and performed at the European men's figure skating, and he won a gold medal again. Plus, the same day, Wales, they won their 7th 5 Nations rugby. Long time ago, 5 Nations. We all know now as the Six Nations. This is back in the day before Italy joined.
Yes, even I remember them days.
Yeah, and it was their 7th Grand Slam and their 13th Triple Crown. They beat France in Cardiff. March, Harold Wilson was the Prime Minister and he announced his resignation. And he was succeeded by James Callaghan. And then this one caught your ear. How old are Apple computers? Well, I'll tell you, they were 48 years old on April the 1st, because that's whenever Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs founded Apple Computers in the garage of Steve Jobs' parents' house. Also, the start of April the 3rd, we had the 21st Eurovision Song Contest. Oh, save your yeah, Brotherhood of Man. They won it in The Hague. And then, I love this one. April the 20th, in New York City, George Harrison was on stage with Monty Python singing the Lumberjack song.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It was. The end of May, Taxi Driver. A film directed by Martin Scorsese.
Are you talking to me?
Exactly. The film won the Palme d'Or at the 29th Cannes Film Festival. In June, Sue Barker won French women's open tennis, and that was her lone major singles title. July was Wimbledon, and Bjorn Borg beat Elina Stasi 6-4, 6-2, 9-7, and that was the first of 5 straight Wimbledon titles for Bjorn Borg. 2 weeks later, the 21st Olympic Games opened in Montreal. Now, this was controversial because initially 25 African teams, later went up to 33 African teams, boycotted the Games due to New Zealand playing rugby in South Africa because of apartheid. But it was also the Olympic Games where a 14-year-old girl, Nadia Comaneci, she scored the first perfect 10 in Olympic Games history. And she went on to score 7 perfect 10s in those games. And in November, the Democratic candidate Jimmy Carter was elected president of the United States. He beat Gerald Ford, who was the incumbent Republican candidate. And Jimmy's vice president was Walter Mondale. So
Jimmy's still alive, isn't he? Just, but he's still with us.
Only just. His wife passed
not so long ago.
It was before Christmas.
Yes.
And he is a shadow of his former self. I mean, knowing how it can affect a partner, having seen Auntie Kitty pass away and Uncle Joe has been left behind and he desperately misses his late wife. I can see how it can affect somebody. But Jimmy I was shocked at how he appeared.
Yeah, I did at the funeral. Yeah, it was not quite sad, really.
It was. Anyway, that's your talking points, your hatches, matches, and dispatches. So let me just... No, don't save things. There we go. All right, let's have a look here. Oh, good evening, Mike. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you got lost. And Jimmy Carter, yes, I do. Yes, I think you're right, Pulsar. I think he is 99. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's add that to the stage and we'll put you full screen and off you go.
Okay, next week. That's everyone's favourite bit. What's happening next week? So let's have a look, shall we? Well, on Monday, we're going to start with the part 3 of the Jack White song. And we're going to look at a band that he was in called the Raconteurs. He still is. They're so busy, they only make albums when they can. Now, the last of the obscure, forgotten classic albums is one by a country singer called Mickey Newbury. And it's called Frisco Mabel Joy. And it's got a song on it, I'm sure everyone knows, that was made more famous by Elvis Presley. You'll have to find out on Monday who that is.
I'm
And
not
that's
saying.
usually it's the first Ladies' Day of the year. And we're going a bit of globe trotting this month. We're going to go to South Africa first for a band called Clout. Who remembers Clout?
I do, because it was my
Yes.
suggestion.
Yes, it was your suggestion. And I think this may have been something to do with you as well.
Yeah, yes.
These wonderful ladies called Celtic Woman.
Yeah, they're an evolving group. They don't. The members rotate in and out as required.
Yeah, and I just got this one because it was easy to do the background was easy to take out. But there's 4 of many, as we say.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Wednesday, Marathon Day. We're going to have a look at this fine Welshman, known for being in Velvet Underground and having a very, very successful solo career. So we're looking at John Cale's albums. Now, Thursday, as you can see, Battle Royal, we don't know what it's going to be because we're not doing the draw till Saturday.
Well, hang on. You've missed Saturday at the start.
Yes. Saturday is the start, is the live draw. But that's why that's in there. We've got a great in the camera's view. Now, this is actually Lee's. He brought it in. He's got it in America, and he can't play it. And I've got it at the moment because I've got an American DVD player, and it's a brilliant little set called the 4 Flicks. It's absolutely brilliant. So we'll be talking about that. Friday, we're going to be doing posthumous David Bowie live albums, and another one for the Susie Sue fans. We're going to look at a one-off solo album, Manta Ray.
Yeah, I was surprised that she only released one solo album.
And then Saturday, you're going to love this. It's a Richard and Iain show. We're doing punk songs.
Yes, Marius. Yes. Yeah, the Crazies are running this show.
Yeah, the Crazies. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Richard's in, but we've both got fetching haircuts.
Not a bad bit of artwork for an amateur.
I know, I was well
Marius
impressed
likes
with
it.
that. Oh, good. Thanks, Marius. Yeah, I took my time over that. Then pins, though, I didn't have to do much because they come as a PNG. So all I had to do was size them down so they went round our noses. So that's the end of that. I can come out of here now.
Okay.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to get back in the screen.
Go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone liked that. Now, going on from what David said, talking points. Also in 1976, it was the drought, and I was in the New Forest on a
yes, I'd forgotten about our minister.
Yeah, I was in the New Forest, and it was yellow everywhere. But there was the West Indies coming toward England that year, and our captain at the time
was that bakery man,
Tony Gregg, right? He before they landed, he
opened
said
his yap.
something rather, as I say, he made a statement after he come back from India, and he said, and this is what he actually said. This is what he said in the cameras. I'm going to read this out. I like to think that people are building these West Indians up because I'm not really sure they are as good as everyone thinks they are. I think people forget that they were beaten 5-1 by the Australians and only just managed to hold on against the Indians just a short time ago. They've got a couple of fast bowlers, but really, I don't think we're going to run into anything more sensational than Lilly and Thompson, who were the big guns at the time. So I'm not really worried about them. You remember that the West Indians, these guys, if they get on top, they're magnificent cricketers. but if they get down, they grovel. And I intend, with the help of Closey, to make them grovel. We lost the series 3-0. And there was more than a couple of bowlers. There was Andy Roberts. Michael Holding came onto the scene. We had Colin Croft and Wayne Daniel. And a certain Vivian Richards and a certain Lawrence Rowe and Clive Lloyd absolutely caned us. It was a wonderful series. So there we go. He was made to look a bit of a wally, but I do love Tony Greig. Anyway, before we get anyone, if Mr. Producer can make me big.
Yeah, with me.
Good evening, Radio No.
I'm in another. Bear with me. Just about to. There we go. Let's share something there. Something that a friend of mine has just posted on Facebook.
Okay.
So anyway, right. There you go.
Okay, so 1976, we had another Carry On film. Well, they were still making them. Carry On England is the one that's based in World War II. Winter Davies plays a sergeant major. Surprise, surprise. It's a very funny film. Patrick Mower's in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's not World War II. It's post. It's conscription years in the late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, right. There was a great little war film that came out. The Eagle Has Landed. Yes. Lots of good people on this. Michael Caine, Donald Sutherland, Anthony Quinn's in it, and the wonderful Jenny Agutter. And Larry Hagman. Oh, JR is in this.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Really good thing. He gets shot, though.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
But for me, the absolute star, hands down, no questions asked, Michael Caine. He carried that part
wonderfully, didn't he?
It was.
We had another Pink Panther film. This was the Strikes Again, and it's the one where
it's the Albert Einstein melting face.
Yes, it's what was his name? Herbert Lom's character.
Yes.
Inspector Dreyfus went mad again. Each and every day, I'm getting better.
Yes.
We had another Dirty Harry film. We had The Enforcer, which has got Tyne Daly in it, and Cagney and Lacey. It's got one of my favourite lines in there, but I'm not going to. Something about his badge, using it as a 5 something.
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to TV, and one of Ronnie Barker's.
Evening, Nick.
Really classic comedy.
Yes, we debated this one earlier,
and
that was a question of 1, 2, or 3.
Open all hours.
Yeah,
debuted in 1976.
Granville. And Nurse Gladys Emmanuel.
Also, his other thing that he was doing at the time was obviously the Two Ronnies. And 1976 is the year that a famous sketch, one of the most famous Two Ronnies sketches, appeared, written by Gerald Wiley.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 4.
4 Candles is in this in 1976, and it was the same year in their little series penned by Mr. Spike Milligan.
Oh yes,
and it's the Hampton Raspberry Blower of Old London Town, where Ronnie Corbett played Corner of the Yard, which is absolutely brilliant. So there's some film bits from 1976. I will show you some records a bit later when we get people up, because I'm not doing it on my own, so you can make me small now.
Okay.
So I'm going to put up the link to get some wonderful people up here, because I know there's lots in there. Yeah, Nick, it's great. I love that. Every Dirty Harry film.
Did you get that in that discount DVD store that used to be in town, in the
Yes.
centre of town? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that was where I got a lot of my Blake 7 and Star Trek stuff.
Yeah. Also,
Ooh.
Mike's had some presses as well. It's all good. So there's the link if you want to come up and join in the fun. Yeah, going
Yes,
back 1976. Obviously, I was in the Cubs, and we went round Southampton Dock on a trip, and the QE2 was in berth,
very nice.
and you know, it was huge. I'd never seen an ocean liner. I mean, just going, ah.
Exactly. I mean, you see it sailing majestically on the TV screen and whatever, but whenever you get dockside, you suddenly realise, whoa.
Yeah, it was it was fun. I mean,
when
that
does
was
it
my
stop?
first. What?
When does it stop? Because you keep sort of looking up and looking up and looking up, and you're stretching back and back and looking up. When does it actually stop? Where is it? Up there somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, giddy up.
I mean, I was 9.5, like 9.5, and we all thought,
Yeah.
wow, that's big.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that
I mean,
was a good trip.
I had a similar experience whenever we were out in Cyprus. I joined the Air Cadets, and HMS Ark Royal came in to Limassol. She was anchored off Akrotiri in Limassol Bay, and we got to go out. And there were two groups went out. One went out by launch, and one went out by helicopter. And I got to go out by helicopter. Thank you very much. Landed on deck and we toured around the ship, saw all sorts of things. Very interesting. Amazing how big those ships are, especially inside. And then,
Yeah, I've seen a carrier when I was on a ferry going from Portsmouth to where would we go? Le Havre, and that was pretty impressive. What else I was going to say? Who remember? Yeah, I definitely remember the summer of.
yes, the summer of the Minister of Rain.
Yeah. Good
There
evening.
he is. Good evening,
Good
Nick.
evening.
Hello.
How's
Yeah.
grandkid?
Sorry?
How's the grandchild? Asleep?
She's asleep upstairs, yeah.
Yay! Noisy night tonight.
Anyway,
Yes.
2 or 3 filler tracks on the Quadrophenia album. I'm going to whack my finger at you two. You cheeky blighters. I bet you I can guess what 2 of them are.
Go on then.
I bet 2 of them are the instrumentals.
That's mine. I don't need all of them. Get them off.
Yeah.
No rubbish. They're there to sort of create a scene in your mind, the expectation of the excitement of going down to Brighton and punching a few rockers in the head.
Yeah, Mixer says it was the bicentennial thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it was.
Yeah, you said about Concorde. I think in 1978 we had a school trip. In the morning we went to Heathrow Airport and went to the Queen's Building. Remember the days when you could actually go and watch planes?
Oh yes, up on the top of Terminal 1.
Yeah, and we went to see Concorde take off.
Noisy bugger.
Yeah, and then in the afternoon we went to Windsor, which is quite ironic because I get a lot of stick about Windsor. That was the first time I ever went to Windsor.
Yeah. My mum and dad used to take me and my younger brother donkeys years ago to Heathrow to see the aeroplanes from the viewing platform.
Yeah, it was great. It was a special thing to be able to go and stand and watch these
Yeah.
What to kids were huge things.
Yeah.
Going
I
down
know
the
all
wrong way and
about
taking off and whatnot.
I know
They
all
swallow
about
one.
Windsor as well. My uncle was a gamekeeper on the Queen's estate at Windsor.
Yeah.
Marius, I don't know. I'll leave that for Iain to decide.
I don't know. I don't know, Marius. I'm sure. Yes, I do get the reference. Yeah, we'll keep that between you and me. Anyway.
Bonsoir and good evening, Mike.
Yes.
Bonsoir.
Oh, everyone's coming in now.
Simon.
And Simon, hello.
And Simon is on his new camera.
Ooh.
We was having a bit of a fun last night. And the first time he sent me a link, I went in, he started talking, and I thought I was talking to Chip and Dale. He was, so we don't know what happened there. Then he changed his mic. So he's just sorting out his bits and bobs. So 1976, champs. Have we got lots of albums for 1976?
Yeah, one or two. One or two.
One or two.
I see three filler tracks indeed, shaking his head. So
Yeah.
Yes. We got told off. I don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, Mike.
You'll get some of that.
Yeah, we said that Quadrophenia had got some filler tracks on.
Just you
And that's
wait
why
till Stevie turns up.
Yeah.
I know. They
Yeah.
know nothing, Nick. They know nothing.
Yeah. We went with Pet Sounds, you see, because there's not
Yeah.
a bad track on that.
It's not a good
Yeah.
one either, is it?
Anyway, shall I start the ball rolling for a change tonight?
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Say when.
When?
Boom. There you go.
So the first one, obviously, it's going to be a little bit of Genesis. First one up, of course, Trick of the Tail, the first album without Peter.
Mhm.
But we have got brilliant tracks on here. We have got the wonderful Dance on a Volcano, Ripples, Robbery, Assault and Battery. A great album to start it off. But the trouble, if you look at the title sometimes, instead of saying a Trick of the Tail, it looks like a tail. The way it's written, and if you hold it in the wrong light, you look at it quickly, it says something else. But not content with releasing one album in 76. They released this one, and it's one of my favourites, and it's obviously Steve Hackett's last album, but it has got some beautiful songs on here. 11th Earl of Mar, One for the Vine. Nick's falling asleep because we're talking Prog. But
I'm protesting.
Two great albums from Genesis in 1976. Also got this. Came out in 1976. The Mike Oldfield box set, which has got the first three albums plus the collaborations on it, and then we're in quad. Picked this up not so long ago. The only thing that's missing is the booklet. So if I find the booklet, I will put that in.
I thought you had that before.
No, that wasn't mine.
Okay.
AC/DC released another album, and of course it's an Australian version. The Australian version of Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap, which I think is the better cover. Even the back's pretty good. It's got the rest of the band in the thing. It's got a different running order to the international. We've got Dirty Deeds on here. Ain't No Fun. There's going to be some Rockin' and Problem Child. We've got Squealer, Big Balls, Rockin' Peace, Ride On, and the brilliant Jailbreak. Again, of course, it's on Albert Records. Another pride and joy of mine. Now we're going to go into some of the boys from Texas. T-Jazz. The one that opens up. Gets a picture of the three boys at the time. Looking all nice and dandy. This has got some great tracks on here. It's Only Love, Arrested While Driving Blind, LW, $10 Man. Some great tracks on that album.
Sorry,
Deep
what was that? El Diablo or El Diablo?
El Diablo, you know me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Deep Purple may have been split up, but guess what come out? Mark III's Deep Purple, made in Europe, which has got, I think, one of the best versions of Burn on here. Absolutely brilliant version. Original core, some great pictures of the Mark III lineup. Recorded on Richie Blackmore's last tour. 76 also was the year of Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak.
I see that one quite a lot, actually, when I'm out and about.
Yeah. Got some great songs. Emerald, Cowboy Song, Warriors, Jailbreak, Angel from the Coast. And if you open it up, you get the full picture, which I think that's an absolutely brilliant picture. And last but not least, probably one of the greatest rock albums ever.
Oh yeah, Rising.
Whoa! An album that's got Turret Woman on it, Starstruck, Run for the Wolf, Do You Close Your Eye, brilliant. But a side two that is the perfect side two. 2 tracks, killer tracks, Stargazer and A Light in the Blank. You can't get any better than that. Side 2 of Rainbow Rising. And then, of course, you've got a picture of, I'm sure Ramold will say, that is the best lineup of Rainbow ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is.
Except whenever it comes up against Yes.
Yeah.
Stevie is getting in there on the attack. So that we knew he was going to get some stick.
You all done?
Yeah, I'm all done. So there's my albums.
Right.
So who would like to share their 76?
Mostly filler.
And there's that. Who would like to go next?
Okay, I got a couple of records to show. First of all, Wings at the Speed of Sound.
Excellent.
Paul McCartney with a Silly Love Song. And just some funny anecdote, when I was learning to speak English, I thought Silly Love Song was about a girl named Silly who likes songs, but it's not exactly. Just for the record, another great album, Roaring Silence, Martha Manoff Band, with Blinded by the Light, written by Bruce Springsteen, originally. Really great album.
Classic song.
Yeah, Blinded by the Light. One of my favorite record ever, Rush, Canadian band, 2112. This is an album they made right after Carousel of Steel, which wasn't very successful, so they took all the risk to do some sort of concept album, which is only a concept album on side 1, with that great story, in a future world where music is forbidden, Temple of Syrinx. Absolutely amazing record. Neil Peart has it best. He wrote the story, he wrote the song. This is an absolutely wonderful prog hard rock album. Rush 2112.
It's fitting tonight's lyric is 2112.
Yes. It's nice to have that Neil turned up in his dressing gown for the photo shoot.
Oh yeah.
He's got his dressing gown on. Yeah.
Yeah. The only way I would dress like that is when I go to the spa with my wife.
Yeah, you wouldn't dress like that. Unless he was appreciating Carl Douglas doing some kung fu fighting,
Yeah. We talked about that album last week. This is a Virgin Killer. This is not the Controversy cover. This is the one they made with the band. This is Scorpions. This is the second last studio album with Uli Roth, as he will be leaving right after Taken by Force, or right after Tokyo Tapes. Of course, I also had to choose some very cool prog rock. I know prog is not the answer, but probably Genesis was about it. Yeah. And they are not the only prog band who released 2 albums in the same year as this guy, Peter Hamill.
Yeah.
After
record.
5 years hiatus or break, they reformed in 75 and dropped 2 albums in the same year. This is Wildlife and World Record.
Yeah, that's good. I don't have world record.
Yeah.
I need it.
Queen, Day at the Races, the album that followed Night at the Opera,
Yeah, I've got that. I didn't show it. That doesn't matter now.
with some Tie Your Mother Down, which sounds really like heavy metal to my ears. I thought Richard was here, so I'd choose one album for him. This one, my mother bought that record, and I know he's a ABBA fan, so I grew up with that record. It's not my the type of music I listen to, but it's still. And one of the greatest live album ever, Peter Frampton.
Oh, best album,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely his best album.
And it's really fun because the story. Small Faces, not Ronnie Lane, Steve Marriott. He wanted to get Peter Frampton in the Small Faces, and the rest of the gang didn't want to, so they split, and they were supporting Johnny Hallyday at that time, the French artist, and so they, after Humble Pie, and this is a brilliant record with all this classic, something for you, Ian. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah,
Blue
great
for you.
album.
Yeah,
great album.
Crystal Ball. This is Styx. This is the first one with Tommy Shaw on guitar, with a massive hit, Mademoiselle.
Yeah, that's a good album, that is.
And last but not least, some reggae stuff. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Rastaman Vibration, also released in 1976.
That's some great albums.
Yeah,
some very good albums there.
And I found this copy during my UK trip about 2 months ago in the beautiful city of Bristol. And this is a original UK press on vinyl, on Island label.
Yes.
Lovely.
This is it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hello to everyone that came in through that. I didn't want to interrupt. Romold in full flow there. So welcome to everyone that's just came in.
Yeah.
So who wants to go next?
Shall I go?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put
Right, here we go. Yeah, I left my Genesis in the racks because I knew they'd come out. So first of all, Yorkshire band, the brilliant Bebop Deluxe,
Fantastic.
Bill Nelson's band. And this is
It's a bit saucy.
Yeah, this is their masterpiece, really. Bill Nelson after Bebop Deluxe, when he did Red Noise, I don't think he managed to recreate sort of the genius of this album. It's a live album as well, Live in the Air Age. 2 brilliant albums. But look at those trousers. I can't believe in 1976 we were all wearing trousers like that.
Proper bell bottoms.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah,
Well,
you take off in the swing.
because they're flared all the way down, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, so I mean, tracks on here. I mean, you've got Fair Exchange, Heavenly Homes, Ships in the Night, which is absolutely brilliant. And then on the other side, you got Life in the Air Age. Found that track there. Right now, Wishbone Ash. This is the last album I bought of theirs, New England. It's pretty good. It's as opposed to sort of albums like Argus, this is very much sort of a rock album, and you never really knew what you get with Wishbone Ash, from one album to the next. But it's absolutely brilliant. It's on the MCA label. There you go, the Rainbow, right? And an album I nearly showed this in the vinyl tag as an album that seems like a greatest hits. This,
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant album.
You know, and again, I don't think he did anything else that can touch this. Absolutely, fantastic album. Every track on this album is fantastic. You know, you start
far
off
and
with,
away his best album.
Yeah. Lord Grenville and On the Border. Was it Midas Shadow, Sand in Your Shoes, which is probably my favourite. What else is on here? Oh yeah, sort of Flying Sorcery, and then Broadway Hotel, One Stage Before, and then the absolutely wonderful 6.5 minutes of Year of the Cat.
Yeah, it's an
I mean,
album
the guy was a fantastic lyricist, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's an album that you know what track's coming next, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Bit of Fairport Convention.
Ooh.
Live at the LA Troubadour. And there's one track on here, Bonnie Kate, with female vocals. So who do you think it was?
Sandy Denny?
No.
Was it What's His
No.
Wife?
Sorry?
What was his name? I did him the other week. He made albums.
Yeah, it's Linda Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's his...
Yeah. It's the only track that she appears on, and it's a lovely live album. Then we get into a bit of prog, and this is Guru Guru and Tango Fango.
Who?
Guru. They're a krautrock rock band, but this sounds very sort of very proggy, and there's even on the B side, it starts to sound like a sort of a sing song in a beer cellar, you know, with the audio music and everything. And as I say, I mean, it sounds very sort of proggy rather than, you know, the sort of more sort of rocky sort of krautrock, and you know, reminds me of a Canterbury scene, which brings me to this one, Blind Dog at St Dunstan's.
Mm-hmm.
Caravans. I think this is an album that gets missed a little bit in their discography, but it's a pretty good album. This is not on DRAM. It's an American press. It's on Arista. And then one more album, and this is a weird one. This is Akiko Yano, Japanese singer. And this is her debut album. She was a pop singer, a bit of sort of Japanese sort of folk music, a bit jazzy, and she's backed by Little Feat on this her debut album. You know, which is very strange, isn't it? Anyway, Nick, you know, we're getting towards autumn, winter of 1976, and things were starting to change a bit, weren't they, music-wise? And in the, you know, and this came out October 76, I think. Reputed to be the first British punk rock song. It probably is.
I was listening to that in the car earlier. That CD you sent me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is New Rose, and the B side is Hell. But this isn't the UK press. In fact, it's a French pressing, which actually was released in 1977. And the labels are on back to front. So you've got New Rose, and then a cover of the Beatles' Help that they get through it in about a minute and a half. And it's brilliant. But the labels are reversed, so you get Help when you think you're going to listen to New Rose. And you know, this was it. Things were changing. So I think next week I'll be showing a few more singles. You know, things were looking up. You know, sort of music was changing.
Yeah,
and I was going to show my copy of Anarchy in the UK, and I can't find it. I I mean, it's not a picture sleeve, it's just a generic sort of EMI. And of course, you know, sort of the Sex Pistols really came to the attention of the British public on the 1st of December 1976, when Bill Grundy on his magazine programme, Thames Today, thought he was going to be interviewing Freddie Mercury. And Freddie, unfortunately, had a sore throat. So EMI said, "Oh, we got a band that, you know, can substitute." And it was the Pistols, you know, and the rest is history. Yeah. So I mean, I won't go through it because it's nearly all swearing. The interviews only last about 2 or 3 minutes, but they pack an awful lot in. You know, Grundy just wanted to antagonise them. He wanted them to live up to sort of
he ever had, isn't it?
Yeah, he wanted them to live up to what he expected sort of punks would be, and they didn't disappoint him. And in the sort of at the background, there was sort of members of the Bromley contingent, including Susie Sue.
I think he fancied her, didn't he?
Grundy sort of turns to Susie Sue and said, "Are you disgusted by this, or are you enjoying it?" And she says, "I'm enjoying it." And he said, "That's what I thought." And then she says really sarcastically, "Oh, I've always wanted to meet you." And she pouts at him. Yeah. And then he said, "Well, maybe we could arrange something afterwards."
Yeah.
To which Steve Jones says, "You dirty sod." And then it goes on from there.
Yeah.
And Grundy just says, "Well, come on, what more have you got? You know, carry on. We've got another 30 seconds." And Steve Jones just sort of like comes out with them. I mean, you dirty rotter. I think it always makes me laugh, you know. But it was an absolutely brilliant thing. You know, got the Daily Mirror headline, "The Filth and the Fury," and, you know, the rest is history, isn't it?
Yeah, it got in the sack, though, didn't it?
Oh, anyway, that's me.
Yeah, it got in the sack, didn't it? It got Grundy the sack.
But did you see? Did you see the T-shirt Steve Jones was wearing? Though I'm surprised they even let him on TV wearing that.
Oh God, yeah. What was it? I can't remember now.
I think it was a couple of boobs, wasn't it, or something like that?
Oh, that's right. Yes, it was. It was like yeah. You're right. Yeah. But the whole time, sort of like you know, Johnny was sitting at the end and he was just looking really bored, and he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to engage with it. You know, I just thought it was fantastic, you know, and it just showed, you know, sort of like how things were changing. Oh, look who it is!
We must have someone from Japan in there.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I was holding this until Mike had finished because I didn't want to take away from his little spiel, Maris's comment, which I nearly caught. That's why it kept bouncing off the screen, because I kept taking it down. So sorry about that, Marius. It was being delayed for a reason, so we could all enjoy it. Anyway,
big stuff.
So
I see my comments on there is this one.
Yeah. So I'm going to do something rather nifty. I'm going to go like that. Hello up there.
Hello. Morning.
Well, have you got anything to show, Simon? Because I did, while in the background, I did see you digging things out.
I did, yeah. I've only got like 4 albums to hand, and they're all CDs, and two
Oh, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it comes, mate. You've got a 2112, like me.
I got Frampton, of course.
Yes.
Bit glare off the CDs, isn't there? That's the trouble with them. Beach Boys.
Is that the one that said I should be called 3 Golden Greats?
Yeah.
I think I made.
It's that period where it all went downhill, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, Boston as well. The album it's a debut, isn't it? This one is it their debut?
Yeah, it's their debut.
Boston. Yeah.
And that's it. That's what I got.
Yeah, but you're showing the music from '76. It doesn't matter what form it comes in. It's music. That's what we like here.
Exactly.
So, Michael, I'm sure you've got something, and I'm sure there's a Todd album in your collection.
Would you like to see it at the beginning or the end?
Well, since he's not here, shall we leave it to the end in case he comes in?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
1976.
And so it begins.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Agent of
nice one.
Station, David Bowie. Yeah.
Yes.
And this is an American original press. I just want to show you the label just in case any of you guys. There's an RCA label. I never. Is that typical? I think it is. That's
The
green.
UK's the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's RCA Victor.
Yep, in France as well, yeah.
Another one from your countryside is All American
Okay,
Boy,
Stevie.
Oh, yes.
Ian Hunter.
Yes.
Excellent.
And this has got You Nearly Did Me In and Irene Wild. I think I like those songs the best. He's got trumpets on this backing up. He's got a horn section. David Sanborn, who's a famous American backup horn player. And just trying to think who produced this. Don't see that. Oh, it's funny. So they include Bernie Grundman, the famous Bernie Grundman, cutting engineer. Doesn't say who produced it. But anyhow, it's a good record. And on the American side, this is a great record. I've covered her once before, Coco Taylor. If you like really strong, powerful American blues singers, if you had to get one blues record by an American of this period, 1976, I recommend this record. So I know people have emailed me and said that they've been taking me up on some of my suggestions. I'm really pleased, but I Got What It Takes and Big Boss Man and Honky Tonky and Trying to Make a Living every track on this record is good. Every track is stellar. Coco Taylor, just love her. Another American, I don't know if this guy was popular in your country, and when I was in high school around this time, it was either everybody loved Jackson Browne or the Allman Brothers or Grand Funk Railroad, or on the other side there was Yes and Genesis and some other people, but Jackson Browne was a really, really popular artist. He was a huge artist in 1976, and this is quite a good record. Not every track is not great on this record, but The Fuse and Here Come Those Tears Again. I mean, you cannot say you dislike those songs. Just an amazing, amazing songwriter on this record. Again, I don't like all his stuff. I'm not a Jackson Browne huge fan, but this is a great record. And this is a recommendation for Mike. I did show this on my Rob Walker video. This is Laura Nero. She came back from being out from recording. It's her first record after having her son, and it's a very different record. It's not really long in length. It's just kind of she's got jazz musicians backing her up, and Money and the Cat Song and I Am the Blues. I recommend this record to anybody who wants to get into it for the first time. I mean, Mike's getting into her first records, which are they're kind of dark in a bit, but you get this.
How do they compare then, Michael? This one was
different.
the early two.
This is light. This is light, and it's rocking, and it's fun. And the next one that she did that I recommend is her when she worked with LaBelle, Gonna Take a Miracle. Super different than New York Tenderberry and Eli and the 13th Convention. It's like night and day. So it's like rediscovering Laura Nero.
All right, I'll give them a listen.
Thoroughly recommend this record. And next up is a guy I love, and this is Al Cooper. This is a record on United Artists, and they put a lot of money into this recording of this record, and the sales were dismal. And he Frankenstein himself onto his girlfriend at the time, and he discovered Leonard Skinner, and I really apologize for that. I mean, I'm really sorry for Leonard Skinner, but I don't mean to trash you. I don't like their music that much. So it was a bad joke. Nobody's laughing. I'm sorry. He discovered Leonard Skinner in Nashville. I think I better quit while I'm ahead. Okay, last one. His 7th studio record, Faithful. And if you look at this record, there's absolutely no information on it. Okay, just the players. So you had to buy the record and understand what's in it. And on the inside, nothing on it, right? Kind of ballsy. So the other thing is, this came with the record, a review, 1976, a piece of ephemera. And what's important about this record, side 1, is that he does all covers, okay? And he does them note for note. Happening 10 years ago, Good Vibrations, Rain by the Beatles, Most Likely You Go Your Way and I Go Mine, If 6 Was 9, and Strawberry Fields Forever. He does all the tracks by artists that he adores and he respects, note for note, okay? And people were blown away. And side 2 is all new material, and they're really important songs. Love of the Common Man, Cliché, and The Verb to Love are 3 songs that he played forever throughout going forward in all the shows, either acoustically or with a band. It's just a great record. And Todd Rundgren, Faithful, I recommend it. And I'm done. Thank you very much.
As ever, Mike, you come up with some absolute gems.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's but that's what we like. We like you because you come up with things that we don't even think of.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Michael, about 4 weeks ago, I'd not heard of Laura Nero. Now she's one of my favourites.
Amazing. And me, I really hadn't given the Smiths any, in the background growing up, it was like, okay, I like them. Do I want to dig in? No, I'm into other things. And now I'm like thoroughly appreciative, and, I might be moving into, things are kind of changing for me. I mean, things are opening up. And, I'm trying to think of some of the artists that, I might be listening to Pill very soon. And a good friend of mine in Tokyo has just been, really pushing me into other areas. I mean, he hates American blues, and he's just in punk and new wave and no wave, and we knock heads all the time. But there are certain artists that when I get into, I go deep, and like Gun Club. I always like them. Jeffrey Lee Pierce, anything by Gun Club, I'm picking up right now, and it's probably will likely happen with me for other artists, just the way I am.
Yeah, we never know. One day Nick might come in and say, "I've just brought this Yes album."
You never know.
Well, I don't think so.
I'd rather nail my bits to a plank of wood.
Or he might come in with Captain Beefheart.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should still go out and buy that one particular Captain Beefheart album, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
I keep meaning to listen to that Safe as Milk album he did, but after hearing bloody Trout Mask Replica, crikey.
No, it's a different album, Nick. It's a different album.
Yeah.
I like that album. And I hate Trout. I love the album. Really good album.
It's a bloody row, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, isn't it? Anyway, can I show you what the postman sent me today?
I've got one album.
Have you?
What? Oh yeah.
I've got an album from '76.
Oh.
I would have had 2, but I couldn't be asked to dig it out. It's at the bottom of a pile of boxes. And that was Dreamboat Annie.
Oh, that's a great album.
It is actually. I picked that up from a car boot sale for £2. I thought it was a great album. But the only other one I've got I picked that up from a car boot sale for £2. I thought it was a great.
Oh, good stuff.
The only other one I've got. Judge Dredd, Last of the Skinheads.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's really good.
On the Cactus label.
I'm just on for a minute.
Oh, that's really good.
But yeah,
I'm just on for a minute.
out of all the records I've got, I've only got 2 albums from 1976, Unreal, and 1 7-inch single. And that was Billy Ocean, Love Really Hurts Without You.
Right, I'm going to bring Stevie up because he's only got a couple of minutes.
All right. What? No, I meant I was away while Michael was on. You can make.
No. I've made you be because I heard you talking to the missus.
All right. Okay. Well, I've got the Genesis. So I didn't bring the Genesis. Anybody know what that is?
Oh, that's Hard Rain.
Hard Rain.
Yeah.
6. I've only got one other, and I'm a bit surprised that from old actually, because I've got an album here that when it came out, for me, I thought it was probably one of the most significant albums of the time, of the age, which changed music. What do you think it is?
French artist?
Indeed.
Oh, Gainsbourg, probably. No.
No. I think I'm hoping this is 76. Actually, I think it's. Oh no, it's 77. I do. Oh yeah, it's 76. I think. Yeah, 76. French artist.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to have on cassette. I don't have any.
I've only got it.
That was so ahead of its time in 76. I hadn't heard anything like it, and I played it. I thought, what the hell is this? I thought, this is amazing. You know.
Yeah.
But there we are. Okay, make me smaller. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like he was a pioneer in the electronic music in
No
France.
filler on that album though.
Yeah, no filler. Yeah.
What is all this about filler? What's happened? Amazing.
Oh, he hasn't seen it. Shall we not tell him?
No.
Oh,
What's Iain done though? I'm definitely not going to watch it.
Oh, you'll have to go and watch this afternoon.
I don't mind. I said that I love Quadrophenia, but it's got some filler on it.
Oh,
you'll be enraged. I bloody well was.
Some people just don't understand, do they?
Yes, I knew you was enraged because of your little red emojis. When you left.
Yeah.
I'm composing a letter of complaint to the editor of the Times. The Angling Times.
Is that Richard? He's a bad influence on you.
Yeah, what you need to put as well. P.S. It's not a trout.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're giving me an idea. I'm going to write a letter to the record collector, and I'll put that Mr. Beefheart and his bloody trout it's a Stodding Carp mask replica. Yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah,
and I'll report back to you.
Ring, did it? Yeah. Trout fitted more.
Oh, Iain, do you know what we've forgotten to do?
What have we forgotten to do?
February.
Oh,
spin the wheel.
The wheel.
Yeah.
We'll do it on the draw.
Okay. Do it on Saturday. Do it Saturday.
Do it Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway, I forgot to say hello, everybody. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Hi, Stevie.
Oh.
Yes. We knew he was going to get some stick after what we said about Quadrophenia.
Oh, it was a guaranteed wine.
Richard's got form on that, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah.
I suddenly stopped watching his Who ranking video. Just couldn't go any further.
What was the other supposedly filler track?
I can't remember. There's just hang on. I can't remember. I don't like the instrumentals on it. I mean, I want to listen to a load of seed sounds at the beginning. I don't.
It's a soundscape.
Yeah.
But
There
setting the scene, isn't it?
there can't be any filler because it's all one part of one. It's
Yeah.
creating a soundscape. It's its own.
it's all right when
soundtrack.
you're watching it, but you don't want to listen to it. It's like on the pet shop, but when the pet shop, they're ordering blooming burgers. Who wants to hear them ordering burgers?
If I came on here and I said, you know what, status quo, it's just an advert for the denims factory and a couple of riffs, and that's all it is. You know, I'd be shot, wouldn't I?
No,
no, because you're right.
Yeah.
probably you're
Okay,
absolutely
so-
right.
Did anyone notice that Rob Walker has got a new logo?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's had a
makeover?
bring him back up, yes.
Probably had a haircut.
Look at that. Look at that. Sharp.
Yeah, it's all about branding. I know that. You know.
Yes, everyone's had a rebrand. I've even rebranded my mate's Facebook page for the rock show with Johnny Walker today. Everything needs a rebrand, bit of freshness.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll have to get a bit. Go curl. I can't say get a bit fresh because that means something else. Anyway, so anyone, come on, we're all of an age, 76. What was you all doing in 76?
I was minus 10 years old.
Well, Rommel wasn't here, nor was Simon, but I was at Cub Camp. I was on my very first Cub Camp. with the Cubs down in the New Forest, where it was all because of the drought we was having here. There was no green; everything was yellow. And you couldn't have bonfires. We couldn't do ginganguli around the bonfire.
Was that? Did you go to Brownsea Island as well? Because they had a camp on Brownsea Island, didn't they?
Yeah, we went all around there. We went to Bewley, which I thought was fabulous.
Yeah.
I always love going to Bewley. And I'm ever in that part of the world, go to Bewley.
Good museum.
Yeah,
I love it
museum.
down there. We went to Corfe Castle. We went to Corfe Castle, but I didn't appreciate Corfe Castle until I was an adult.
I used to. I tell you what, I used to go up Corfe Castle when I was a kid. I used to run up there. It used to be all free. Now they're charging like it's all fenced off, and they're charging like £8.50 entrance or something ridiculous. You know, and it's not. You know, they always say, "Oh, you know, King Arthur was here." King Arthur was never at Corfe Castle. Let me tell you. And if you research the history, it's a pile of unoriginal rubble, is what it is. You know, and so when they were charging at the entrance, I just turned around and said, "Look, this is just a pile of rubble. I'm not paying for that."
Yeah, I think I must have been one of the people that went up there. You know, we was 9, 10 and charging up there. But I did appreciate Corfe Castle more now.
Go on, Michael.
I must be snaggletooth in this group because in 1976, I was a sophomore in college. Providence, Rhode Island.
I'm not far behind you, Michael.
I was working in a
I
bank.
just done my A levels in 1976.
Oh, I'd already left school. I was working in a bank.
There you go.
We've got a couple of pensioners here. Let's be respectful.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you understand me, Michael?
You want me to speak slowly.
Hey, Michael, you're nearly old enough to be president of the United States, aren't you?
Oh, he's too young. He's far too young to be the president.
Well, another 20 years.
He could be vice president.
Yeah.
I think it's Gary. You've got to be over 70 to become president of the United States these days.
Oh dear! If this is a car crash, then you come and save it, Rob.
War fighting.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, I'll show you what the postman.
Yeah,
got
we
off
were
my
together.
house. Yeah.
There. We'll make you big. See what the
Yeah.
postman Pat brought you.
Yeah.
Is it your
But here
gas
we go.
bill?
Look, this is the package, and the bloke who packaged this really knows what he's doing, because it took me a good 5 minutes to get into it, and it came all the way from Northampton, from Corby, didn't it, Nick?
I wouldn't know. I'm not. I
No, you
refuse
wouldn't
to
know.
incriminate
Anyway.
myself.
Anyway, when I opened it, it was it's an EP from a Manchester legend, and I must say I was a bit disappointed because it wasn't that Bernard album. You know, I've been looking for that, Nick.
You leave my Bernard album out of it.
Yeah, but this is definitely good. This is something I've never seen
Happy
before.
Mondays.
Happy Mondays Pill Sessions, and it's a French pressing.
oh,
And Nick knows that I'm collecting Pill Session EPs, so really nice of you, mate. I was really chuffed to get this. A nice green vinyl, and it's just 3 tracks on it. You got Tart on one side, and then Mad Cyril and Do It Better on the other. And this is the only vinyl I've got from Happy Mondays. Everything else I've got is on CD. So, always pleased to get Pill Sessions, and I'm really chuffed, mate. So thanks very much. So that's that.
That's all right. Well, you got me that Jeffrey Oycott album. Yeah. And I've been looking out for something ever since, and I accidentally came across that, and I thought, well, yeah,
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it, mate. It was really nice surprise.
Yeah, it's not like the usual Pill Session sleeves, is it? But I thought it'd make an interesting addition,
Yeah. Well, I don't know about this.
You do now.
I don't know.
But the place to be on this Saturday is at 3 p.m. is seeing who's going to the second round draw.
Anyway, make me small, Iain.
Okay.
So for people, for the younger people who may not understand, may not have been born yet, people like, less than 66, oftentimes I hear the words Peel Sessions. And can you just please give me a short understanding of who Peel is? I know it's John Peel, but what was he all about? Was he a radio guy? Was he a TV guy? Was he a producer? Everybody's always Peel Sessions. Did he have a studio?
Yeah, he started off in the 60s on pirate radio. He was on Radio Caroline, and he always had a reputation of playing the stuff that he likes. He was never one to go with the radio station playlists or anything.
Right.
And throughout the sort of the 70s and 80s in particular, he had a weekly sort of nighttime show on Radio 1. And, he would champion all sorts of new bands. Bands would they'd send a tape in, and if he liked it, he'd play it. And if he liked it a lot, he'd invite them in to do a session. So there are a lot of bands that they did John Peel sessions before they released anything on albums.
But was it a recording studio or was it a radio station studio?
It was a recording studio. I mean, most of it, I think, was at Maida Vale. BBC studio.
Yeah.
And and I mean, they're always sort of good quality recordings. And
he allegedly was the man that discovered Mark Boland.
Yeah.
Who funded him when he got because it takes money to bring a band into a studio? Who was his backer? Did he-
It's
was
the
it-
BBC.
BBC, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
Yeah.
John
So-
Peel had a lot of clout at the BBC.
Yeah. So really, I mean, Radio 1 at the time, it was really two radio stations. You get daytime Radio 1, where you get a lot of people who knew nothing about music, fond of the sound of their own voices, and they would just play the playlist, and it was just relentless sort of pop music, with a cycle of about 20 singles. And then from about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, it would change, and you'd get DJs that like music, and they'd have bands in, they'd do interviews, and he was just so influential, so influential that
Yeah.
So the BBC
without him, I think there'd be a lot of bands we wouldn't have heard of.
Yeah.
So the BBC was the investor, and so the BBC earns royalties from all those alternative recordings. I mean,
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Well,
No, because
what is Strange Fruit?
it went out as John Peel found it. In a way, he almost hired the studio.
okay.
All right.
So they would go into the studio, the different bands, and do a session for John Peel. That would be like a special event, and then later on, they were released on vinyl on Strange Fruit Records. I think Mike you showed, was it the Gold Joy Division?
Yeah.
It's Peel Sessions EP. I've got that one, and that's a very valuable one. I've got the New Order, the silver one. And they basically had this sort of silver or gold cover, most of them, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I once heard, I don't know if it's right, he might have received an order from the Queen. She might have said to him, "Hey, you have to make the culture to shine, the British culture in I don't know if it's true. I only have heard of that. Do you know if that's true?
I'm not quite sure.
I'm
But
not sure on that. I'm not sure if that's a whisper or.
Yeah, probably a rumors or a whisper. Yeah, he had his mission to shine the British culture all around the world, the rock music from Britain.
Oh,
Don't know if it's true. Don't know if it's true.
Yeah, that's it. So,
Yeah.
you get the gold ones and the silver ones, and that. I mean, the sessions sort of recorded any time from sort of like early 70s through the 80s, but these on Strange Fruit were released from about 81, 82.
yeah,
There must be a definitive list then of these albums.
I'm just trying to find that one. Yeah, the list online.
I think there must be, but I haven't seen one. If you go on Discogs, it's very difficult to make head nor tail of the whole thing.
Yeah, the only one I've got is I think Madness did more than one, but I've got a CD with it on. But
Yeah,
whenever I see them, they're normally around 25 quid each, something like that.
Oh, right.
That Gold Joy Division one is just seen on eBay. Somebody trying to get 80 quid for it.
They're quite collectible, aren't they?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How many you got, Mike?
About 6 or 7, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's your silver New Order.
yeah.
So that was originally £3.29.
Good
So
God.
you got an EP. So they're just in the studio doing that. And there's the hallowed ground of the Gold Joy Division. So very, very collectable sessions, EP sessions.
yeah.
Well, there is a list on the back of if you make me big again.
Yeah, they're all slightly different, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a list on the back there.
there's Madness. I can see Madness on there. The Damned
Yeah.
So now I've got a pirate
specials.
version of Susie and the Banshees.
Have you?
oops.
Have you really? How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale. But I've got quite a lot. I've got quite a lot of, the BBC. I do slag them off a bit, but when they do their BBC recordings, 90% of the stuff is from John Peel sessions.
Right.
I've got a jam one that's got John Peel sessions, The Police, and we're talking long before they were fans. You know, it's great to have all these. You know, if you got on John Peel and then you got on, you know, in the 60s, it was Brian Matthew. So you got Brian Matthew who used to do the in sessions with the Beatles and the Status Quo and when they were psychedelic, and then obviously John took over. Then the late Annie Nightingale,
Yeah.
and then you got Stuart McConey, who's in that thing, and Northampton's very own what's her name?
Janice Long.
Joe.
Yep. Joe Wiley.
Joe Wiley. She keeps that baton going. I mean, I've obviously I know Jo through her sister, and she says, you know, John Peel is sort of the reason that she got, you know, John Peel has got such high acclaim of independent sort of the DJs, because I mean Jo Wiley's on late at night, you know, because she's on Radio 2 now, but she hosts Glastonbury, and you know, this is a woman that knows is passionate about music. I know how passionate she is about music. You know, you get some of these DJs, and you know they're reading off a bit of paper. You know, they've got no passion about music.
Can you see that?
We'll make you big, and then we might be able to see it.
Yeah. I can't see it. Can you see that?
Can see it now. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You got the Cure, Smiths, Damned, New Order. There's the Susie and the Banshees. This is just the Discogs specials: Downfall, Slits, Madness, Ex-Mal Deutschland. I didn't realise there was an Ex-Mal Deutschland one. Gang of Four, Buzzcocks, Inspiral Carpets, Ruts, T-Rex.
Yeah.
There's actually Team Redskins, Jam. What is it, Jimi Hendrix one? That's a bit. I thought he'd been dead by now. The Cure. Yeah, so quite a quite. But how many of you of these have you got, Mike?
Oh, I'm just trying to look it up actually. Yeah, the one that really irks me is the wedding present Peel session that I forgot to, which I didn't pick up because I got distracted by somebody somebody I knew, and we went for a coffee, and I put it down instead of buying it.
Yeah, that's my favourite trick.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So Record Hound just said that the Peel sessions were really, really valuable in the 60s. Okay. And so John Peel got the BBC to fund all these artists, right, to go into the studio. And these records are, I mean, look at what those records that Stevie showed. I mean, they're incredibly important recordings.
Yeah.
And they're probably still published today. People are still buying. Where does the money go? Does John Peel's estate still earn money from the sales of those records? Does the BBC still earn money from the sales of those records? Is it shared with the estates of the artists? This is something I'm just curious about, only because this one guy produced so many important recordings. I just think it's amazing. So, and music is a big business. So how does the money work?
It's probably a fair bet, Michael, that these bands and artists weren't paid anything. They came in of their own accord. It's like back in the day we had a couple of comedians, Morecambe and Wise, and you weren't nothing unless you appeared on their program on television. People were, stars, screen and stage, were queuing up to appear on the Morecambe and Wise show. So it's a fair bet that a lot of these artists, to get free publicity, would appear on the Peel sessions, the John Peel show.
It says, Strange Fruit Records, BBC Enterprises. This is one of a series of original recordings made for the John Peel show on Radio 1, Strange Fruit Records is great for the cooperation of the artists, record companies, music producers, and of course Peely and his producers John Walters. So I mean, they'll get their royalties for the song, but I guess the BBC would get production, you know, and it would all be carved up in an agreement depending on how well known you are.
I mean, you know, the sessions weren't recorded to go on albums, to go on EPs. They're recorded to go on radio.
Yeah.
On the BBC.
The Joy Division one, it says first transmission.
I've got Gang of Four. They go The Damned and
Damned.
And the Brilliant Wire. There's one that says I've got the Mighty Wire somewhere. Yeah. I always buy them if I see them.
Well,
I think the Damned did more than one, didn't they?
That's right. Yeah, Joy Division and New Order both did 2, I think.
Yeah, the Joy Division one, it says producer Tony Wilson, of course. It says recorded 26th of November 1979. First transmission 10th of December 79. And then it's got the cutting engineer Bob Jones. So maybe there was an intention to do something with them. Who knows? You know.
Yeah.
New Order did 3 sessions.
All right.
Yeah, when I was at the record fair just before Christmas, someone was selling the specials one.
Oh!
I looked at it. They wanted 95 quid for it.
Oh, no.
I said, I know they're special, but not that special.
No.
I said, I said to the guy, I said, you're not going to get 95 quid for that. Well, they're rare.
I think the going rate's around about 15 to 20 quid.
I said, yeah. I just went, you deluded fella.
Yeah.
I said, I said to him, I'll give you 20 quid now. Well, no, I says, I bet you, and I just said to him, I bet you didn't pay.
I'd have given him 30.
No. 10 to 15 tops, I think.
Yeah. 95.
Yeah. I mean, there are quite a few sort of Peel Session CDs that sort of combine, you know, more than one session from a single artist. So, you know, they're worth getting if you can see them. I'm a bit intrigued. I'm a bit intrigued about what Rob Walker said just now, saying there was a meet-up at Leeds Record Fair on the 9th of March.
Is there?
Well, apparently, yeah. I don't know anything about it other than Martin, you know, Vinyl Scavenger. He contacted me the other day and said, "Oh, I might be up in Leeds sometime. You know, we'll meet up." So, you know, whether that was it, whether that was him telling me, I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's on your door.
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't get up there because HS2 has been cancelled.
Hey, you've got it the wrong way around. Yeah. I mean, this is it. We don't want you Southerners up here.
No, we'll just get on one of them little things that go like that, up and down like the rail.
Yeah.
I've actually had to go on one of them. They are hard work.
Yeah.
It's great when you come to a hill.
The French press. Get it?
Oh,
French press.
Yeah. Brilliant, Michael. Brilliant.
There's three Joy Division Peel sessions are in the UK for sale. So 30 quid. These are all plus £4 or £4.50 postage. 30 quid, 28 quid, and 40 quid. So
well, I got a bargain then because I paid quite a bit less than that.
Yeah, and the silver ones
a week and a half ago.
10 quid, £8.50, and 9 quid. So that's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got some really good. I mean, the BBC live at the BBC.
Those are CD, sorry.
these are really, they're always good albums because you do get, I mean, okay, it's the Status Quo one, but you get a lot of their stuff when they weren't Status Quo, when they were Traffic and the Spectres. And that was, I said, like Brian Matthew, he was the one that started that. I mean, he got the Beatles on at the BBC. I mean, you know, when they were just starting out, you know, and I think it was good publicity. And there's just not any modern day DJs that really care about the music industry as much as these things. There's not many DJs. I mean, we've got a local one round here, Bernie Keith. He plays his record collection on his daily show. And he plays just all the great music. And just before New Year, he used to do a rock and roll show, but in late night. But during the BBC, they've cut back on local radio, and he did a show for 4 hours of rock and roll, old style. You know, so you think old rock and roll songs are no more than 3 minutes?
Mm.
Can you imagine how many you're going to play in 4 hours?
Oh,
yeah. There we go. Nick's got a Madness. How much did you pay for that one, Nick?
£5, I think.
That's not too bad, is it?
No, I ordered it by mistake. I was half asleep and I was thumbing through Discogs, and I thought it was the vinyl LP, and it was in Sweden. Then this turned up. So there you go. Don't go looking through Discogs or eBay or stuff like that when you're half asleep in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
But I'm glad I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick's tip.
Yeah.
What's up with all the text on the cover of each of those records? Is all the same. Those lines and lines of text. What do they say? What is that about?
I think it's all the titles of the sessions that they've done.
Yeah, that's what. And that's right. It's an iconic. It is the iconic cover. One of the most.
So there
you see
you go.
that from afar, you know it's a deal.
So there you go, Michael. See if you can see any of those in Japan. See how many ended up in Japan.
Yeah,
Probably a lot.
Well, if you see any of those for like 500 yen, then snap them up. You know.
Okay.
What's 500 yen?
$3.
1,000 yen used to be about £4, but I think now 1,000 yen is £5. So when he shows like anything sort of below 1,000 yen or 500 yen, it's peanuts, really. You know.
Right. Yeah. Actually, Steve, have you still got that list? Oh. Because I'm wondering about this.
What is he
Addicts,
looking at?
And this is a bootleg. It's a 7-inch bootleg, and I wonder if it was actually a real thing or whether there's just a bootleg.
Well, I don't know. No, that was I literally just put Peel sessions into the search in Discord. You know, so it might come up.
Right. I'll have a look.
Yeah. So what is it? The Addicts? Because
the Addicts, and it was 20th of November, 1979.
Because Discogs don't do bootlegs, do they? Or
they don't. No.
Yeah.
I just wonder whether there was a proper release of this.
What the hell is he doing with his hand? It's like...
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to steady something. I was done.
I saw lately I saw a copy sold for 35 euros. He's a good friend of mine. He's currently in France, in Toulouse, and he just sent me some Discog pages of 2 friends, and one of this guy is currently selling that Pill session, new order, September 86, 35 euros.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
There's even a Sid Barrett Pill sessions. Originally recorded the 24th of the 2nd, 70 something or other. I ain't got my reading glasses.
Yeah.
What is the difference? Because I know when the bands were playing at the BBC and they were later release the albums, they had to put the name Live at the Beeb.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Is
there's
that
a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot of albums like that live at the Beeb. I mean, I'm just thinking some of the bands. I mean, Status Quo did. A lot of them were recorded in what is called the Parish Theatre. A lot of the in concert again, which John Peel was important. He introduces, I think, one of Mark II Deep Purple's first. There's an album called In Concert, and the 1970 disc was introduced by John Peel. And Ian had probably been with the band 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mono recording.
All right.
On the album, on the original album, it's a mono recording.
I mean, the BBC did have a lot of tech to bring to the party, given that, you know, they were given billions of quid by the taxpayer, you know, and they've got mobile units and all the rest of it. It all would have been on high quality tape. So, you know, they've got a whole archive of everything, you know.
Yeah. All funded by the British taxpayer.
Yeah. Now look what we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was they were doing what was needed. They were promoting the music, you know. I brought the Genesis live at the BBC. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got some really early, and I'm talking pre-Trespass recordings that they did at BBC. I don't know if some of them may have been with John Peel, but the other thing about John Peel, when Mark Bolan was Tyrannosaurus Rex, he really raved them because they were a bit of this underground sort of band. But when Mark wanted to become big and popular, once he'd done that, he said that Mark Bolan sold out and he stopped sort of promoting them. And he sort of, with David Bowie as well, in David Bowie's early career, he played. And then, of course, he did play on Top of the Pops, didn't he? He played the mandolin.
So that's right, with Rod Stewart.
With Rod Stewart, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was pretending to play. He didn't actually play them.
Yeah,
he just stood there waggling his hand up and down.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, I just dragged this out. You mentioned Bolan. There you go. This is
I've seen that.
it's a record store day release. So it's concerts at the Empire Hall, Wembley, in 1973, and there were two of them. There was one at 5:30 p.m. and then another one at 8:30 p.m. And these were introduced by the Emperor Roscoe. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a character, weren't he?
They made a DVD. I had a DVD of that concert.
Oh yeah, right.
One early, one late at night. Yeah, the same day.
That's right, yeah.
The early one was all the screaming kids, weren't it?
Well, that's right. Yeah. You wouldn't have been able to hear anything, I think, if you were there.
Yeah, that appears on the Slider. You know, they did the box set of Slider. The
second album, yeah.
Yeah, it was, that's how I've got it. It's really good to have that.
Yeah.
So in John Peel lore, and you guys, maybe you know the stories, when they brought bands into the BBC studio, are these recordings rough or are they really polished? Did they do more than one take? I mean, what did they have a whole day to do it? I mean, it's not a commercial venture, right? They're using radio station resources to do this, right? So they probably had suits telling John Peel, you only got the studio for X hours, get it done, right?
Well, yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those.
If it's anything like today, right, they're coming in, the studio's booked for 1, 2, 3 hours, whatever. Get it done. They do a piano session, the piano room, is the current thing that they do now. And an artist will come in and they'll do a session in the piano room. And if they don't have a pianist, the BBC will provide one. But that's an hour,
I mean,
2 hours at the most.
yeah, and typically the sessions, the way they'd be broadcast is that there'd be sort of separate tracks sort of broadcast throughout the sort of the duration of the radio show.
Yeah.
And you probably get sort of a maximum of 15 minutes music from each session.
They
Probably,
did it live.
yes.
They broadcast live.
Yes, some of the sessions are live.
But some of them weren't they? And some weren't.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
another guy
in Peter Hook's autobiography about New Order, he says they did a live at the BBC session. I think it was in '86, and it's and he said they had a gig, and then it was like drink, drugs. They hadn't slept, and then they had to drive all the way, I think from Cornwall or something, all the way to the BBC. Had a massive row in the van and the car or something, and there's a video of it online. You can see they're literally totally knackered, looking daggers at each other, like pure hate. And Barney's there in his shorts, and it's a brilliant session, and they just did it in one take and then went to sleep. Yeah.
It's a bit like the old Great Whistle Test. They were live in studio, and you never really knew what you were going to get. And then, what's his name with his jazz orchestra? Christmas Hootenanny. Jules Holland.
Jules Holland.
Jules has sort of taken over the mantle. You get live sets. One song, maybe two songs, but it's live. No lip syncing. Jules won't stand for that. Yeah. None of this lip syncing and faking. It has to be proper live music. Those are brilliant sessions.
Do you remember? We also had when we were young, Rock Goes to College.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean those. I mean, we were so spoiled. You could watch this when you came home from school, and it was like the specials. If you watch a video of it, it's a great gig, and they're just playing to like college and school kids, and they're dancing on the stage. And Terry throws gets angry with a bouncer and throws his tambourine at his head. You know, this is like going out. Watershed. You know,
I've been to one of those. I saw Dr. Feelgood.
Oh, brilliant!
Like it.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of bands I like have done that. I mean, Marillion have done one. AC/DC. Who else has? Dylan did one.
I think Susie and the Banshees did one, didn't they? Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
It was again one of them shows you had to do.
Yeah.
Going back to the radio, the other guy that used to do in sessions was Tommy Vance on the Friday Rock Show.
Yeah.
Particularly, he had bands in '82. I mean, Marillion went and played on there. Market Square Heroes. First time we ever heard Marillion was on Tommy Vance. Saxon has done it. Tigers of Pang Tang. All the sort of heavy metal bands that were coming out, they all did sessions on that. It was, as we said,
it all stems from John Peel having started it. He was the one who started bringing in new music, new bands. I mean, at one stage, the head of Light Entertainment, whatever they call the division in the BBC, wrote to the head of Radio 1 and said, I trust you are not playing this punk music. We do not approve of punk music. To which the guy replied, I'm sorry, that's all we've been playing for the past fortnight.
Yeah. But it was a real sort of real stark contrast, wasn't there, Dave, between daytime Radio 1 and nighttime Radio 1?
Oh, good Lord, yes. I mean, nighttime Radio 1 was almost like the old pirate radio stations and Radio Luxembourg.
Yeah.
completely different planet, completely different attitude to music. What you had on in the morning was, listen while you work and all that sort of thing,
Yeah.
and listen with mother and all that sort of thing.
All the commercial stuff.
Yeah,
That's it. I mean,
it was aimed at the working day. Anything like pop music was for later, after work.
Yeah.
Okay, I bought one thing
bed.
this week.
Yeah, most of us used to go to bed with little transistors no bigger than that, and
Yeah.
a little thing,
Zeb?
and
Yeah.
listen under the covers. Our
That's
parents thought we were sleeping, but we were listening to John Peel.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
I was doing it at 10.
I'd like an answer to a question here.
Well,
Zeb, what are you spending £500 to £600 on Hawkwind?
well, they have made 37 odd albums.
I know. Is he ordering the lot in one go?
God.
Wow.
That's a lot of money for Hawkwind.
So before Stevie does that, we didn't have the equivalent of John Peel sessions for you guys is probably bootlegs in the United States for the American market. There were
All
no
right.
radio stations. No, you never had. I mean, you had bands going into radio stations and doing special events and things like that, but it was never pressed, never resold. You had radio stations going and and doing a live broadcast of, like, let's say, Bruce Springsteen at my father's house in Long Island, but it was never pressed to vinyl ever. So just that's why I was so curious about Peel. And it's bootlegs. That's what we have in terms of historically. Just like you have the Peel sessions historically, bootlegs are what we got. Unless I'm wrong.
I think the American equivalent now is Howard Stern. He has his in session. I mean, I've subscribed to on YouTube, and I love listening to them because it has some great bands in. And what they talk about, I mean, the ones he does with Metallica are always interesting. He had Harry Styles, and they did a fantastic version of Sledgehammer. You see, I think Howard Stern, although he came a lot later, he's in the same spirit as the John Peel, the Annie Knight. I love Howard Stern. I think he's passionate about the music. I mean, I know that there's that film and half of it's sort of thing, but I've read one of his books, and he did have that sort of struggle getting the music out and playing what he wanted, not these lists. And I think that's the nearest you've got to AD, because back in the 70s it wasn't nothing like that, was it? No. In America.
You had the old Grey Whistle Test. What do we have? We had the Midnight Special and some other shows. Again, many of them were live performances, never recorded and pressed to vinyl.
No, I saw, talking of Midnight Special, I saw even Status Quo appeared on Midnight Special doing Big Fat Mama, and it's a great version. But what's his name? The Beatle in the 60s, Ed Sullivan. He did a lot for music as well.
True.
Yeah.
True.
There's the Doors thing, isn't there? About the they were going to do Light My Fire.
Right. Yes.
And they were told to change the lyrics because if you said the word fire, on national US television, the world would stop turning, wouldn't it? And they said, okay, that's all right, we'll change the lyrics, and then they didn't.
Yeah, that's when Jim Morrison went right up to the camera and went, higher.
Yeah. Actually, sorry.
Well done to him.
Yeah. But there's a really good US radio station now, and that's KEXP Seattle. They broadcast, on the internet and on YouTube as well.
Mm.
and they do some fantastic live sessions. You know, and they're funded by donations and philanthropists. You know, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they've always been a big station, though. I've got an audio book by one of the guys that worked there in the 70s. And it's actually, I think the book's called I Burst Pink Floyd's Pig. It's a brilliant book. I mean, I've got the audio book. And it was on Amazon Audible. And it's one of them free ones. I didn't have to pay for it. All I did is add it to my library. And the stories of all the bands. I mean, Seattle, Heart were always in there, and it's some of the stories of all that. There was a lot of rock stations in Seattle, but they seem to get all the big names.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great. So if you go on there and just say, "I nearly broke Pink Floyd's Pig," it's a really good listen. You know, I really enjoy that. You know, it was a good thing. So yeah, that Seattle. I think Seattle's. You know, the music there. They started the grunge genre. They were there, and the more heavier rock as well. Great rock and roll city.
Yeah. Okay. You ready for my weekly purchase? Just one LP. Okay.
Just one LP this week, right?
See if you can get this. I'll give you the track listing in reverse order. Okay, so the last track: Equator, In My Family, Complaints, Talent is an Asset, Hasta mañana, Monsieur. Thank God it's not Christmas.
ABBA.
Here in Heaven, no. I thought you'd get it by now. Falling
Queen.
in Love with Myself
Queen.
Again, no.
Sparks, Kimono My House.
Oh,
Well done, Michael.
Cool says, yeah.
Well done, Michael. The fact I showed you this a couple of days ago.
It's a step up.
$8.99. Is it a good classic for $8.99?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This is sort of vinyl community, FOMO. So I thought, well, everybody's got this, so I better get it, I suppose.
I haven't got it.
I got a small something for Richard McCook, but frankly, now I don't think he deserves it. So okay, but don't tell him.
Oh,
Would he like that, Ian? You know him.
Phil Collins played drums on that track.
You're joking.
It's a very cool intro, yeah.
Well, okay.
No, not.
All right. Well, that's anyway. Okay, you make me small. That's all I bought. So.
Yeah, I picked one up on Saturday. AC/DC, If You Want Blood.
Oh.
The Porky Prime cut. So it's a bonus.
Oh,
Very nice. How much was that, Simon?
That was 12 quid.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah. No, it's reasonable condition. Good enough, anyway.
Is that a keeper, or are you going to flip it?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'll keep that one. Oh, that's about all, really.
oh. I bought a record this week.
We're not interested. I haven't had advanced viewing of this.
No, you haven't. I know. Obscure.
What on earth is that?
No idea.
Genya Ravon.
What have I just walked in on? Some loving.
Okay. So, interesting thing about
Michael's
this
porn
record,
collection.
interesting thing about this record was that it was produced by Jimmy Miller. Who do we know Jimmy Miller
Wow.
Jimmy Miller.
from? The Rolling Stones.
I thought you were going to say he's a Fred or Todd Rundgren there.
No. And who backs her up on this record? The late Jim Price, Jim Horn, and Bobby Keys. Who are they? They're the brass
Jim
section
Price was
for
Rolling Stones.
the Rolling Stones. Very good.
Everybody
Very
knows
good.
that.
Well, you're the only one who chimed in, so I'm not so sure about that. And
We're letting Stevie have the floor.
one song on this, which is what Stevie's partner says to him all the time. Keep on growing.
What a right. Ban him from the live stream. That's a 2-week ban.
Show him the red card.
No, we're booking for the comedy slot.
Well, thank you for filling the obscure album slot for this week, Michael.
Yeah.
Romwell's got something.
Yeah, I got a cool package from the UK yesterday. I bought another batch of records at my favorite store. Send it any.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Very cool.
Is it original?
Good taste.
It is the UK.
Oh, you're a lucky man.
I'm a lucky man, yeah. It's on the label, island label with the pink ring.
Yep. Oh, that
Yeah.
is
That's lovely.
That's a precious one. That's a keeper.
All our records going abroad.
Didn't pay that much just to say. This is because or thanks to Michael Tag.
Yes, thanks to me. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to you, Michael.
Oh.
Yeah. I literally fell in love with the lay down song he used on his tag. And I had it Brain Capper, the other album with the eye, released on the same year, and they had as well the original press. This is the 80s, Killing Joke.
Killing Joke.
Yeah,
Love Like Blood.
Yeah, this is not the album, it's only the single. Another prog
How much
rock.
was that, Romold? How much was
I will have to check, probably 20 or 15 pounds at that much.
That looks like a bit of yes. I thought I recognized.
Valentine's Suite. Yeah.
Yeah. And very lucky. I think you showed this album, Mike.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Mine's not the swirl. Mine is a later press.
It's one we.
Yeah.
And last but not least, something I waited 3 years.
Holy shit.
Northampton, 1972.
Wow.
Ooh.
This is an obscure band. They only recorded one album in Northampton, and they released this 50th anniversary box set remaster at Abbey Road by Sean McGee, and this is the final edition of that incredible album. You see, this is a copy of the what he had received back then. You know the story. He paid for 64 copies. I think the last one sold over 40,000 pounds. It's incredible,
Wow.
and this is the.
Hold up the address on that, Romold.
Sorry.
I know it's got military. It's got Military Road. I want to know the other address on it. It looked like Ardington Road. Yay! Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Someone should go and put a blue plaque on the door.
Wow.
And this is incredible hard rock progressive with fuzzy guitar album. This is incredible. You know that story. You know, no one trusts on this band. One was got work for Tesco and the other one for I think the British national electricity provider. And 20 years later, an American guy discovered the copy, an EMI, and he just wanted to pay for the album to be pressed in the US. So he had that phone on the cover. He phoned Steve Giles, and he thought it was a joke. It wasn't joking. And they did on Akarma as well, splattered versions. And he came. Luckily, he still had the master tapes. So I think it was due to release last year, but it just came out recently. And this is a beautiful, beautiful sound quality.
Wow.
I'm very, very jealous
Yeah, this is dark.
I'm a Northampton boy, and I can't even get that.
And I paid 37 Canadian dollars just for the box set. So amazing, fairly priced.
So what do they sound like then, Rumble?
Yeah, it's very hard rock, early 70s with a fuzz guitar, probably between Grand Funk Railroad-ish, hard blues.
Right.
I think you can find a copy of.
They had a very similar sound to the Groundhogs.
Oh, right.
They're sort of gritty, dirty, heavy blues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
I bet you that picture was taken. I wonder if that was taken in Northampton.
So make me small. Thank you.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Ramon. When
Very
I'm
nice.
next in town, I will go to 12 where 12 Military Road is, and I shall take a picture.
Yeah.
Of 12 Military Road.
They were rehearsing in the basement of his father. He has a photo. He was a photograph. He has a shop, and then they record in the studio, which was an old bathroom, Victorian house, something.
Yeah,
and they didn't make.
They were all built round for the shoe making. That's where all the shoe factories were in Northampton in the Victorian times and that. So, yeah, I think I know exactly where 12 Military Road is.
And they were opening for a Status Quo just once or twice.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's an amazing story. Yeah, yeah.
It's an amazing band, and I'm very envious. I don't like you anymore.
And Steve Giles is a very nice guy. He has his channel on YouTube, and I was asking him 2 years ago, "Hey, when we gonna get the box set?" And he was replying to each of the people, "Hey, this is due. I'm still working with Sean McGee at Abbey Road. We are working on a new version." And it was remastered at Abbey Road, and lacquers were cut at Abbey Road. So it sounds very cool.
I might go in
yeah,
see this. Oh, you know, he's a legend here in Northampton.
Mm.
He's a legend, but only people here know. Because that album is as rare as Rocking Horse Doo-Doo. It really is. And I am so envious of you, you little bugger. But yeah, that's a great show. Anyway, talking about showing albums, it's come to that time of the night.
Well, hang on. I've got a quick update from last week.
Oh, he's got a quick update first.
Right, quick update first. You remember this?
Yes, that you got
big.
Very excited.
Richard McCook got very excited.
Yeah, he got very excited. We were talking about it on Saturday.
That's a median £8.50 on Discogs. But the big winner was The Police, Truth Hits Everybody. That's actually worth a tenner median price on Discogs. Can you believe that?
Excellent.
I did get a few more signals. I don't know if you want to have a look.
Not really.
Tracy Ullman. Visage. Night Train. Godley and Cream. Actually got a Frank Sinatra. Picture this. Shirley Bassey. EP. Steel I Span, Christmas song. What is it?
Gautier.
Gaudete. Another Spanish anomaly. I've no idea. The Thai lemon.
Oh, Dawn.
No, they're in
Johnny
America.
Orlando and Dawn.
Yeah, Spanish import. Classic. What's the most classic Joe Meek song?
Telstar.
It is indeed Telstar Tornadoes. One for Michael here. I was going to send it to him, but I'm not going to now.
Who's that?
Oh, all the way from Nemesis.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you show that last week, Stevie?
No, it was a different signal. Pay attention. Malcolm McLaren, Double Dutch.
Oh, Double Dutch.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. This is quite a nice one for my little collection.
Oh, Mr. Daltrey.
Yeah.
Walking the dog. Now I did show this week, this one last week, but I got another one, Forever Autumn, War of the Worlds. So I just saw it again. I thought, oh, and this is one for Nick. Right, Nick will like this.
I've got that. Has it got?
What's
I've
that?
got-
Ting Tong song. The Goons Ting Tong song.
Yeah, I've got that.
Oh,
Has
the
it
Ing
got-
Tong song, yeah.
has
Oh,
it got
yeah.
Walking
Yeah.
Have you got
Backwards
that,
for
Nick?
Christmas?
I have actually.
Yeah.
I've got that on 7-inch single and 78.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought 78.
Is
There you are.
the B side
Wow.
I'm walking backwards for Christmas?
I'm walking back for
Okay.
Christmas.
Right, okay, you make me small now. That's it. Okay, thumbnail.
Thumbnail time.
Okay, 1 up, 2 up, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, what a good choice from Simon.
One. I got one more. We're waiting.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Veet.
Of course he's going to hold up.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, that
We
one.
all-
3, 2, 1. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you very much for the wonderful people in the gallery tonight. We've had some great people in. We've had visits from Jason. Marius is in. Great to see Marius
Hi,
in.
Marius.
He's a friend of the channel. And once again, thank you very
Yeah.
much for my wonderful panel, even though I upset 2 of them. But it's always lovely to have you here. We'll be back next week, same time, same place.
In
So-
fact, we'll be back on Saturday.
Oh,
you and
yes.
me.
Oh, yeah, don't cock it up,
Oh,
guys, please.
No, we won't.
Yeah, I've lost all interest in that now. I've lost all interest in that.
I'm not
Oh,
watching it. If
Oh,
it's
you
another
will be
bloody
you may
shambles.
be interested for semi-finals, Mike. You'll find out in a minute.
All right.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching. So bye, folks. See you all soon.
Thanks.
Take
Good
care.
night.
Thank you. Take care.
See you next
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye-bye.
Hey.